Alright, y'all, so I've done a lot of testing in the new event, tried out a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different teams, and I actually have a good amount of no-item runs upcoming for the Goku Black Zamasu fight, of course, so again, just keep a lookout. Today's video will be really cool, actually. Just know that Ankh still got it, right? But again, we're going to be talking about Physical, Vegito Blue, and AGL Rose. They're super easy A's. I've also had a lot of time to use them in the new fight, kind of see how good they are, how, their faults and goods about them. And I am actually very impressed by these two. These two are very powerful, and I think they did a great job with their super easy A's. Not every character is perfect, of course, but I think they pretty much nailed it with these two, man. Really fun to use, very enjoyable, really good additions to their teams in a very unique way. So again, we're going to be putting them on 4 different tier lists, and then we're going to take those 4 tier lists and kind of have a top 10 considering all 4 of them at the start. And there's not like other tier list videos in that way where I feel like people will usually just rank their top 10. The reason why is because there's many different forms of content that I think need to be considered for a true top 10 tier list, like across the board. Otherwise, it's kind of unstated where you're potentially taking most of the value from. Now, usually in my previous videos, I would do 3 tier lists, 1 for red zone, let's say 60%-ish kind of favoritism in terms of ranking, 1 for battle hardened foes, that would be probably another like 30%, and then the final one for festival battles, which would be like 10%. I feel like festival, again, it is good to consider, especially when it's like, okay, these characters are both good in red zone and battle hardened foes. Festival battles will be the tiebreaker, right? That's kind of how I decided those things. Now we have another fight that is going to be in the mix in the future. If they introduce like another set of hard fights that isn't specifically like red zone, I might replace one of the existing lists. I was even considering replacing battle hardened foes because I feel like the lists are a bit similar between each other, but there are some differences that I do want to point out, at least before I would potentially do that. So again, we're gonna hop right in. We're gonna talk about the Goku Black and Zamasu fight first, as I personally think that is like the overall hardest fight in the game. At least in terms of like not only being, you could argue festival's hard. I think that's a really, really strong point to make. But I also would say this fight is like hitting not festival numbers, but hitting really huge numbers at a really small amount of time frame. So I think with that in mind, you have to really play it a certain way. Festival, I think it requires less thinking almost in a sense, I think, compared to this fight, if that makes sense, right? Whilst the numbers could hit harder, I think this requires more thought put into it and like what you do and what your actions are, right? And maybe even a little more RNG with the locking. So again, this is the list here. I'm not really gonna explain every single character in depth. These characters are don't use, it's like don't use, quote unquote, but it's really just a mix of characters that wouldn't fit B tier above because of multiple different reasons. Like, let's say, Gogeta and Goku Gohan, they get their like damage reduction / dodge after attacking. Like, these 2 characters are pretty weak early on and need to build up. Though I would say Kid Buu is probably potentially better than a lot of these characters here. Actually, I'm thinking about trying a Buhan run. I don't think it'll go well, but I just want to try it out just to kind of see how things go. I think Kid Buu, like, he has 70% reduction like earlier on. I feel like if he builds up, he won't be able to probably with the supers, but I think he could be a usable option, especially if we consider the Goku Black AoEs, right? And same with Goten and Trunks. I think, potentially interesting option because they can get up to what 80% dodge chance or something like that. I might try them out too, but anyways, we'll see. Everyone else, I think, has just kind of faults that really more so take away from the team rather than add on to the team, where you need like extreme RNG levels of luck. Like, could you get a no item run with Tech Blue Cow and Goku on the team? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Could you get a no item run with, probably not Ginyu, right? But like, let's say even Goten and Trunks. Sure, AGL Blue Cow can, depending on how the luck goes, right? But I think it's just a lot of these characters like taken away from it. These characters are characters where I feel like, yeah, they're better than these guys, right? And they deserve to be standing out, but they have issues that I feel like can creep up a lot faster than other characters. A tier characters that I feel like are decently consistent. It depends on the setup, depends a little bit on locking, but I think that there are characters that I would choose to run more so multiple times, and you know, I think I've had winning runs with all of these characters compared to these characters that I haven't had actual winning runs yet. And again, this list can change of course in the future. S tier is like characters that I feel like are overall quite strong in this event, have one or two faults, can get caught, but overall these characters are still really good and goated here. Then finally, Z tier I think are just the best characters for this event. I mean, Tao, Pai Pai, and Yamcha. I guess you guys could see why. I feel like Tao maybe is a little bit on his own team, but I feel like you could probably, again, as long as he has another mission execution ally, there's no difference in the item run I got or the no item run I got with him compared to just using him on another team. Like, I didn't even have like General Blue, of course. In Yamcha, I think you could just throw him on like any team he's on. I mean, could you like use in Yamcha without a leader skill? You might be able to. Actually, I can see someone doing like a no leader skill run with Yamcha because of how he works. Again, he's very prevalent in the dodge, but bro has like 90% chance to dodge before he attacks, and then like guarantee dodge after he attacks, like throughout a majority of the battle. Like this guy is like crazy cracked in here. And Yamcha's really, really good. He's also Rainbow Orb changing. Like, dude, in Yamcha. Again, I'm gonna bring up in Yamcha separately. This guy, man, again, he has the baseline 50% dodge chance, but then give him like 3-4 Rainbow Key Spheres. This boy's at like, I mean, technically, if you have his active skill up, which, you know, if all allies are Earthbird Fighter is not really difficult, you get him 4 Rainbow Key Spheres, this boy could be at 100% chance to dodge because he gets 10% with the super performance. This does actually count the active skill. So that's pretty good, right? And another thing is, after attacking, this guy again will get these 2 attacks. No, he'll get this here, but after evading attacks, he gets 2 additionals with a high chance to be a super. This counts against the AoE, so Goku Black AoEs you first, or this guy's in slot 1, he'll get this here, or again the AoE in slot 2. This guy's doing his first super, this 70% chance super, 2 more 50% chance supers, another 50% chance super, which is 5 attacks already. Then you have the 6th attack, which is the hidden potential system, and then you could have potentially done this. Like, Yamcha could like absolutely demolish Zamasu. Yeah, and turn 1 he also has this, by the way. So turn 1, you give him 3 Rainbow Orbs, he's guaranteed dodging before he attacks anyway. So you don't even need to use the active skill turn 1. Like, he has multiple turns, but he has guaranteed dodge. This guy's like the AGL UI Goku for TURs. Like, that's what that's what I would call him. The AGL UI Goku for TUR characters. Yeah, I think that's a very good term to use in this event. AGL UI Goku is also insane in this event. I'm probably going to also do like a separate tier list for like best characters in this event, including LRs and TURs, because I didn't actually do that for the LR tier list, though I did like account for the new event, but yeah, I just wanted a little more testing with the event just to be completely sure to really fully integrate that into here. So in terms of Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu specifically, or not Zamasu and Vegito Blue, what was I saying Zamasu for? I guess because of the new fight, right? AGL Rose, we'll talk about this guy first. I think this guy is very good in this fight, obviously, right? He can get up to the 70% damage reduction threshold. I personally have had no issues with this character for the most part. Even on his second, like, even he took 1 hit, and then even with just the, what is it, 45% reduction, I think it was still after attacking, but this character still lives super attacks, like against Zamasu super, if I'm not mistaken. I did see that once. We might have been under 70% HP to be fair, but I don't think it's uncommon to fall under 70% HP in the middle of a turn in this event. Definitely not uncommon at all. And this guy, you know, when he has his full reduction, like, he could even be a slot 1 character. That first attack could be a little bit of an issue, but if he's not in slot 1, it probably will be the Rose Goku Black AoE attack, right? If not, he would be able to super attack first anyways. But the point is that even if it's that AoE attack from Rose Goku Black, it doesn't really hit hard enough for this guy to kind of be in trouble. And then, you know, he'll be able to get his 2 super attacks off. He's providing support during the rotation. He's providing multi-turn crit chance support, which I think, you know, is pretty helpful. Allows him to have 70% crit chance, does decent damage. Like, this guy's overall really, really good. I think that, again, there could be issues that you could run into him. Like, I think it's the same thing with every character. Like, where it's, let's say, you know, Pycon doesn't dodge. Glorio gets locked, someone doesn't dodge. Buhan before his debuffs goes in. Like, and again, Buhan Gorilla Lore's attack like twice guaranteed. This guy's insane in this event, by the way. Like, I've had runs with like Glorio, Pycon, and Buhan on the team, and Rose just gets debuffed to hell. Like, he can't do anything. Like, that Rose boss with AoE, he does nothing to you when you do that. It's like a specific type of build where you actually kill Goku Black first. It's really interesting. But yeah, no. These 3 are very, very good. I think Rose Goku Black does deserve to be on that level of S tier. I don't think he's Z tier. Because again, I think that there are... Like, I feel like these 2, I'm not really worried. Because like Tao Yun has a debuff himself. And he'll be type advantage. Zamasu's not going to do really crazy damage to him. My 55% of Tao was taking like, what, like 330k from like Zamasu's super attacks. Like, a rainbow one would be perfectly fine as well. I think I could see maybe at the end, Rose Goku Black could be a little troublesome just because he hits so hard, but like, you have double Tao's attack debuffing. You could just run a bunch of different characters that do debuff as well, and you know, like, you'll be fine. Rose Goku Black, I think is up here for sure. I mean, I don't think I can put him as E tier. I just think, you know, that first attack I have been situations I've seen, not myself, but more so like other people, where Rose Goku Black bro gets locked slot 1. Hooked a little, but for the most part he's perfectly fine. And plus, you know, on the Rose team he's getting tons of support. I mean, you even have Tech Goku Black clone. By the way, if I was gonna, I don't think the Tech Goku Black clones are on here, or the clone Roses, they're not, but if they were on here, Tech Goku Black clone would also be Z tier. On the you do need a specific build, but I mean, Tech Goku Black clone, man, he has 70% attack reduction basically at most. Probably closer to 60% on the Goku Black. He doesn't damage those turns. So, yeah. Talking about physical VB, he's like a double-edged sword, I think, in a lot of situations. I think it depends on the team build for physical VB right here. Because this guy, again, he has his counters. Mass damage does a lot to Goku Black. But the issue is that, you know, he's also building up this Goku Black card. In terms of the event, like, Goku Black does build up to another 300% attack. I think it's in that realm. I should have opened the global version here. But we see, yeah, he built up to 300% attack after he takes 10 attacks. So you don't, and depending on the build, you actually don't want to attack Goku Black until you kill Zamasu first. Just because if you do attack Goku Black before you kill Zamasu, then you have 2 very troublesome enemies. Again, builds where you have a lot of attack lowering, like Glory on the team, Pycon on the team, Buhan on the team, like, you're able to actually very effectively hold him down so that you can kill him first. And Zamasu is not as big of an issue, that's for sure. I think Zamasu still can be tough, but Zamasu is more so annoying rather than like with the locking. And then it's like, okay, because I feel like if it's just Zamasu by himself, his locking could hurt. But the locking is really troublesome when Rose Goku Black hits you with like a 7 mil super attack, right? You know, and then Vegito Blue doesn't really help with his counters. But I think there's 2 things that we can consider. 1, he's doing a lot still. Rainbow Orb changing, multi-turn supports. He has the 50% chance dodging in super, so even if he gets locked in slot 1, he has, like, I've had turns where this guy gets locked on 1, he dodges both super attacks, right? Like, it's not going to be an always thing, but it's a tool he has, especially for short content. And if you are under 70% HP, then this guy would also have an 80% chance to dodge, which is, you know, again, I said with Rose, it's not like a non-possibility for that to happen. Like, that can happen pretty frequently in this fight, especially like turn 2 to 3 range for sure. I've seen him take normals, like take damage from normals, I should say, when Goku Black's like fully built up with those debuffs. So I don't think I could put him S tier because he can really mess things up depending on the build. But again, if you have this guy on a build where there's a lot of attack lowering, which is what I ran him on, he's actually able to Like, because the goal of those builds is really like, you want to kill Goku Black first. This is probably the best unit in terms of killing Goku Black right here. So again, I really don't know if I could put him in S tier, because it's like, he by himself, like, you know, like all these attack lowering builds, Buhan, Paikon, Glorio, like themselves, I might move Buhan down. No, I don't think I will. I was thinking about it, but no. I think, you know, these three, like, they can kind of be thrown on a lot of different teams, and it's like they're able to really hold them down. This guy, again, he could be more of a, he can hurt you a little more than help, but I think it's not where he's don't use, because there are builds where he can actually really shine. Otherwise, I would almost argue he would be in don't use, just because of the fact that he will power up Goku Black, and then you're just kind of screwed out, right? And again, I do have a run today what showcases exactly what I'm talking about, and you guys will see, right? But yeah, so we'll talk about this tier list next, which is the red zone tier list. Again, we can see Yamcha. I think I moved Yamcha down a tier actually, and that's because it's like, I really feel like a lot of these other characters have tools against like the dodging phase, and Yamcha's still fine. But like A tier is kind of like characters is like you could use, but there are issues like, you know, a lot of these characters, maybe like dodge is just not effective there. Or then, like, for example, Pi kind of has the Ghost Usher. Glorio has, like, Glorio's defense gets insanely high, right? Janemba could just tank, right? Cell could just tank. So, that's why I have Yamcha at A tier. Now, in terms of these characters, in terms of Red Zone, I actually would put Goku Black in Z tier. I think that guy is super good in these Red Zone fights. I think Goku Black, you know, again, with all the support going on in the Goku Black team, by the time you get to the end of the fight, guess what? This guy is gonna be able to be very tanky. I think the Blue Goku fight, this guy will also be good in. Actually, okay, I'll be fair, I did not take him to the Blue Goku fight. Oh no, right, but that super attack early on is not gonna hurt this guy enough to where it's gonna be an issue, even if he gets supered instantly. It'll suck a little, but then, you know, it's not like, okay, well, I'm dead. No, it's not gonna be like you're dead situation. So that's good. We'll get to Battle 100 posts in a bit. Again, AJ Rose, again, we talked about what he's doing, but I think in these long events, he's able to kind of settle in on his own and do really well. I think, you know, there's less kind of worry with like locking. You could place this guy in slot 2, slot 3 if you need to. The topo and the physical topo and endurance phases can lock, but again, I've never really experienced issues. I think the only issue that you could run into is because even though I guess, yeah, Jiren's locking this guy and supering him instantly probably can kill depending on the hidden potential. Like if he's at like 55%, I could see this guy die, but otherwise like Jiren sometimes does attack once or twice before he even supers, and he of course has the AoE as well, that could be in any slot, right? But I think more often than not, I see Jiren attack like once or twice before he supers anyways. It does happen where he doesn't attack outside of the super attacking someone at all. But yeah. Physical Vegito Blue, I would probably also say, you know, it's tough. Because the thing about this guy, it might be S tier instead of Z tier. Because think about this guy. Any super attack, he doesn't dodge, he's dead. Any super attack aimed at him, bro's dead. He does crazy damage. Like the Endurance fight, I think the Endurance fight, like he's gonna be fine there because like he has the dodge chance and then he does crazy damage to the Endurance phase. Physical topo phase could be the same thing, but man, it's like by the time we get to the end of the fight, dodge is canceled, and unless you're running like PHY Goku, this guy gets hit with a super, he is dead. But and that's okay. Let's take a look at Z tier. I don't think any of these characters would die to a super like that in most situations, right? I think, you know, yeah, no, I mean, I feel very confident like all of these characters would be fine at the end of the event against supers, right? I think again, Rose Goku Black, instant super before he's able to attack, yeah, but he's not the character you're going to be putting a slot 1 at the end of the fight anyways, unless you really have to, which he could still also work just fine. So BB is like, you want to put him where all the attacks are for him to be effective. You could throw him in slot 3 as well. But, like, you know, let's say if the Super Saves that Rose in that slot 3, Tech on slot 3, Tao, like, they all live, right? Tech and Khalifa. Hit has the Ghost Usher too. Like, they're all fine. They all have at least ways to combat it. This guy won't anymore. It's kind of like the Yamcha thing, where I feel like I'll move in Yamcha up here. Yeah, see, we'll do that. We'll do that. This is what I'm thinking for the red zones. Now, battle hardened foes. I feel like Tao just stands above all in this fight. I don't really think there's an argument, anyways. I would say BB is better than Rose here, actually. The thing about this fight is the AoE at the end. I think that's the most important thing. Like, these characters could do like very similar kind of stuff to this, but the AoE at the end is not like a thing where you could consistently deal with it. Again, if you have Tech Goku Black Clone, this guy will be fine, but without him, I think he might be more closer to E tier. Like, this guy, it's not like he's really providing any debuffs. He's not, you know, like, he's great lowering attack, right? But great lowering defense, right? But again, like I said, that first attack he takes could be an issue. That's gonna happen in the AoE phases, unless he doesn't get AoE, but that's what I kind of have to account for, right? Well, his physical VB, this guy has a dodge chance. Like, he has a way around it, and then during the event, he's gonna consistently be doing really good damage as well. Like, again, Rose is good here, but he's a little dangerous at the end, right? Same thing with like Goku Gohan. Like, these characters have tools, but they can be a little dangerous at the end, right? I think if Rose, what you have to do with Rose is you have to put him in slot 1, and then hope he's able to build up before the AoE comes. If that happens, you're good. But I feel like a lot of these characters don't have to potentially worry about that as much, right? In terms of kind of that, if that makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, he can still be really good. It feels, no, I feel good about this. I feel good about this. So yeah, next we'll be talking about festival battles. Neither of these two you're gonna use in festival. Nah, that's pretty much it, right? Festival is kind of like a whole different kind of thing. I mean, is there anyone else I'm missing for festival? We don't even really have to talk too much about festival. No. In terms of TURs, no, I don't think I'm missing anyone. So, again, festival's in its own kind of area. If I was gonna rank how important I think these fights are to each other, I'm gonna say 50% this new fight, 30% red zone, 15% battle hardened foes, 5% festival. That's kind of what I'm gonna consider. I think this fight definitely is the one that stands out to me as like the most important one. This red zone is still important too, just not as much, I think, compared to these fights. This fight specifically, I think it's way harder than a lot of the red zone fights, right? Because this fight's comparable to Festival's difficulty, but I think Festival also has to, like, you know, again, there's arguments on whether Festival should even count as a stage you consider. I will consider it, but just not as much. So yeah, I think, again, we can hop into the actual top 10 part of this tier list. I do have Tao at 1, which, you know, may kind of be surprising to a lot of people. Like, and we take a look at Tao here. Festival 5% doesn't really do anything. I think he stands alone in the red zone list. The guaranteed stun instantly. Like, yeah, he's battle hardened foes made. Red zone, this guy's E tier very easily. He doesn't die to most supers, if at all. I'm pretty much sure. Like, I think the only super he could die to is the STR Jiren one, but this guy has an unarmed super attack counter. Like, how much is it? Is it 70%? I'm pretty sure it's a 70% chance. No, let me double check here. Yeah, 70% chance to just nullify STR Jiren's super attack, which I've seen happen pretty consistently. Blue Goku Red Zone, right? This new fight, he's also Z tier. I'm sorry, like, I'm using him over over Kid Goku. I'm using him over Hit. Tech and Khalifa, yeah. I think Tao was just, like, if you really look at it, like, his performance is really consistently up there right now, especially in the short fights. I think he's just the best TUR right now. Kid Goku, I think, is second for me. But again, very high consistent performance. I think what really kind of puts Kid Goku, Hit, and Kill Cleveland over Yamcha for me is the red zone performance. I think Yamcha is also like, it's not like Yamcha's just, I think Yamcha is probably a better unit than them in Battle Hardened Fields, but they're also very competitive in Battle Hardened Fields in their own way. And they have ways around a bunch of different things. But in terms of like red zone, I think Yamcha is a little falling behind for them, and that's kind of what makes me really say, okay, these three next in this order. I think Kid Goku, I mean, would I put Hit above Kid Goku in this fight? I don't. I feel like Kid Goku on his team setup, like for him, at least I think I've seen him tank the supers and things like that. Hit is definitely dodge reliant. Hit has the Ghost Usher though. Kid Goku has a heal as well. I think it's very tough. I'm gonna give the edge to Kid Goku. I think I will give the edge to Kid Goku. Yeah, I think so. Because Kid Goku could also just straight up have guaranteed dodge. Hit doesn't. Hit could still, like, at the end of a fight, you know, Hit doesn't dodge Goku Black's AoE in, you know, certain situations where he might not be debuffed. This boy's Hit is out of here, man. Kid Goku will be able to stack up enough to not really be hurt by that. Count Caulifla, I think, you know, her above Yamcha is kind of decided by Red Zone, but also a little Festival. I think kind of takes account to there. And then in Yamcha, you know, versus like Rose and VB, I feel like, again, it's probably this fight that really makes me take them. Because, again, I do think this fight is harder than this one right here. And then Battle Hardened Foes, I'm like, you know, see, they're on the same tier here. They're on the same tier with Rose better. Rose's under here. This guy's better than them both here. And then, yeah. This one doesn't really matter in terms of this. I think Yamcha, then Rose, and then VB. I like Rose a little more than VB because I think that he's more of the well, firstly, I mean, you guys know I'm a defensive kind of player, right? I love characters who are defensively tanking, supporting. I feel like this guy is gonna run into less issues overall than this character. This character, you could very easily argue VB above Rose though. You could be like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Rose's like performance for me has looked stronger in Red Zone and here than Vegito Blues. And again, yeah, I think Vegito Blue could be super just like crazy with the multi-turn support. I mean, he's a counter with super effective. That's nice. It's not crazy, but it's like helpful. And he does, again, so much damage. Rainbow Orb changing, right? But I think Rose at the end of the day will just get killed less, right? Does that make sense? I think this Rose is just gonna cause you to lose less, especially in the new fight, depending on the build. This guy, you know, S tier Cell I still have here because I think his red zone performance on like Hit's team is really good. Tech Cell's really good here, but he has moved down from the list because not only are there new characters here, but this new fight, I'm kind of iffy on him because Tech Cell doesn't work in this fight. That's why Tech Cell's not even on this list anymore. Tech Cell doesn't work in this fight. He can't. Does no superclass enemy. Like, Tech Cell needs a superclass enemy to function. And the Goku Black is a monster fight. This boy, he's cooked. At best, he has, what, 60% reduction? He loses all enemies attack 20% down, and then damage reduction rate 20%. Like, he's kind of gonna be a fraud here. I'm sorry. Especially against that Goku Black AoE. This guy is no. If the attack debuff was here instead of the crit chance, or even if the damage reduction was here instead of crit chance, I think we could talk. We could definitely talk about Tech Cell being back there. But yeah, and then Tech Cell not being like relevant in this new fight, I think hurts AGL Cell. S tier Cell. AGL Cell, yeah. I was thinking, do I put Glorio above him right now? Okay, hear me out, chat. Glorio, right? In terms of this tier list, I think Cell's better in the red zones because, you know, there's the dodge disable. In this new fight, I'm taking Glorio over Aster Cell, like easily. Glorio does like 6 fucking supers instantly and greatly lowers attack on all of them. Rose can't do shit when Glorio's out. I'm sorry, dog. What's a normal lower attack? But he does it like 6 times. Turn 1. His first super, 70% chance super. Third super here. Fourth super here. And then he gets this one, 5th super, a 6th super attack if you get the hidden potential. Like, and this guy could just super 6 times turn 1. And this is not as effective because, you know, he can be locked in slot 1, but if he's locked in slot 1, I mean, I've had runs where this guy gets locked in slot 1, doesn't matter. He's just still is gonna dodge anyways, right? Even though it's 50% chance, it is the ability to live. Oh my goodness, I've been talking so long that the OST looped. That's crazy. But no, this guy, yeah, you could definitely run his team in here. I've seen no other runs with Glorio. Glorio's crazy for this fight, man. And then we're talking about a hard foes. I am also taking Glorio over Astercell. Yeah. I think this would be better. Glorio, dude. Glorio resurgence in this fight really, really helps this boy out. Now PyCon. And I think PyCon over Astercell too for the same reasons. PyCon is also really good in this fight. Now, PyCon doesn't want to be facing just one enemy for his Ghost Usher, but again, that's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna get this. Especially in runs where you are killing, like, Zamasu first. This could be really useful. Just to take away Goku Black from, like, being really annoying. Or in runs where you're killing in fights where you're gonna kill Goku Black first and you need to finish off Zamasu, this is helpful because you're gonna keep Zamasu from healing a whole turn. And Zamasu heals like what, like 20,000 HP or something? Not 20,000. I forgot how much he heals, like 2 mil HP maybe? Something like that. Maybe I missed, no, it's 20 mil HP. Yeah, 20 mil HP. Sorry, I'm really stupid. I can't count numbers sometimes, it's fine. But you know, this guy has a 70% dodge chance. Of course, just like, could be better, but it's not the worst. I've seen PyCon kind of get owned, but I mean, I feel like once you're able to get this grid lore attack in, he could do this 3 times. Yeah. Supporting is also really nice. There's a few remote opportunities around. Yeah. Ghost Usher could be really good at red zone too. The new fight's really good. I'm thinking this. Anyone else I'm putting over Astercell? Let me double check and make sure. I think no. I think Astercell fits up here. Yeah. I feel pretty good about this. Just looking at this list here. I mean, Daimagoku has a resurgence with this new fight, but I'm not gonna take him over Astercell. I feel pretty good about this. I feel very confident in this list right here. Yeah, I think Tao's best TUR right now, man. Yeah, I like this. Hit actually worked really well in this fight too. He has the debuffs and everything. The action disable. Could do a lot of very funky stuff with the Ghost Usher. Like double hit is 2 Ghost Ushers and hits Ghost Usher. I think the last thing I'll point out is that he's the last thing spoilers is too. But hits Ghost Usher. Keep in mind, he what's it called? He doesn't need the enemy to be at a certain HP level. Where is he at? He just uses the Ghost Usher whenever you want him to. Because it's, again, oh no, actually, never mind. It could be, specifically, he has the ability to use it when your HP is under 66% HP, which I've actually gotten in the run. He does want to be facing one enemy from the 6th turn, but again, that's also not really difficult to get. So, yeah. So, I appreciate y'all for watching. This is my top 10. And yeah, I mean, AGL, Rose, Physical, VB, really good characters. I think, you know, them making it even 6 or 7 here is really good. Yamcha and these two are better, but these guys are definitely the best Super Easies. Like, what's next? Tech Cell's probably next after them. yeah, these two are definitely the best Super Easy 8 characters for sure. So thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.